Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AM Picks. It's going to be episode 5. Yesterday's slate was pretty good for me. Told you guys, my play of the day was the Brewers White Sox game to go over 7.5. I'm pretty sure that cashed in the second inning. So it was, a no sweat bet. Put 2 units on that one. I also had the under on the Astros Angels that did not hit, unfortunately. But what's good is I had the Rays money line, and that kind of helped get some more units. So up 3 units on the day, or 2 units, right? Yeah, 2 units. So yeah, pretty good day for me.
Pretty good day. Yeah, like I said, I was trading lightly for this card. It was kind of an ugly looking card. When I woke up though today, I'll be honest, I didn't put anything in. But when I woke up, I saw that what
The
Brew Crew was
Brewers.
down. The White Sox hit a grand slam, so they had 4 runs. It was 4-0. I put them in when they were plus four and a half. We got extremely lucky on that. Dibbled and dabbled with some batting props too as well, but nothing too much for me. Kind of treading lightly. I had Golden State also in game bet for their first half. They ended up losing that. They were down when I put them in, so I got them at minus 1.5. So looking to bounce back a little bit on this day. First little bit of losing day for me, so we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, then. We'll start with MLB. There's no college basketball tomorrow, so no big deal. But start off with MLB is a full card, all 15 games today, so all 30 teams are playing. Um, we'll start it off with the first game on Monday. We got the Twins versus the Royals. Royals are minus 156. They have Chris Bubik out there. Twins have Simeon Woods Richardson, and they're plus 129 on the money line. Um, both these teams, I think they both have maybe 10 or less hits on the season so far. So both of their bats have been kind of slow. Twins have been able to draw walks and, do other stuff. But the Royals haven't really generated much offense at all. It's been really rough. I'll probably stay away from this game, but, they got the over under at 9.5. Both of these pitchers are very mid. I think they could still end up somehow going under. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So, yeah.
I'm looking to fade the Twins. I hate Woods Richardson. I just don't think he's very good. Can't put too much into last season, but that's really all I have to lean. I really do first 5 against them. So with the Royals, yeah, that's where I lean in this.
Okay. Rangers Orioles at 335. We got the Orioles minus 126, Rangers plus 104. Jack Leiter out there for the Rangers, and the Orioles have newly acquired Chris Bassett out there from the Blue Jays. Yeah, again, kind of the same thing. Orioles, their bats, I checked their stats too. They haven't been generating much offense either. The Rangers have been playing a little bit better. I do like their bats a little bit more. Jack Leiter's not the worst pitcher. He's gotten a lot of appearances recently, so last year at least. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the more hotter bats right now. I'm gonna take the Rangers plus 104. It's kind of risky, but I just think they're the more hotter bats. Their pitching hasn't been too bad, and the Orioles bullpen could have some issues.
Yeah, I think you're getting better pitcher option, not by much though. Too, like you said, bats a little bit hotter. Those do scare me. A little bit of a scary lineup, but they haven't looked good coming out, starting out. So yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely lean towards that way as well too.
yeah. All right. Next up, we got the White Sox versus the Marlins. Marlins are going to be at home in this one at 340, minus 131 for the Marlins, and plus 109 for the White Sox. White Sox have Davis Martin out there, and the Marlins have Chris Paddock out there. Chris Paddock coming from the Twins. Um, I think so. I think he came from the Twins. Let me just make sure. I don't want to. Oh no, he played with Detroit last year. Actually, he played with Detroit and the Twins, so he must have got traded. Not the biggest fan of him. Hasn't had good stats. Davis Martin, on the other hand, I mean, had a 4 ERA last year, 7-10 record is not too shabby, especially with the White Sox. They barely won very many games. He's familiar with the club just in general, So I'm gonna take a shot. White Sox win their first game. Unfortunately they lost a heartbreaker, being up by 5 earlier against the Brewers. But I think their bats are pretty good. Um, Chris Paddock, he has a very hard issues with, walking people.
Yep.
So I think, we saw with the White Sox today, they have pretty good eyes, pretty good patience,
Pretty
you
good
know.
bats. Yep.
Murakami's hit back to back to back home runs. They're not a bad team. Give me plus 109. I think they win their first game. I think Marlins don't deserve to be 3-0, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat right here. I think the odds kind of tell you. Can you still see me, by the way?
Nah, I think you're frozen as of right now, but
Oh, what the heck? Okay, there we go. No, yeah, I'm on the same page as well with you. I'm on the White Sox. I think the line is really showing and telling. I would kind of lean first five towards the White Sox too. I really do like Martin. He is a solid pitcher, like you said, for pitching for the White Sox and still being able to, you know, keep that ERA low too.
yeah.
I think he's a quality pitcher. White Sox bats, we had faded them today. They didn't really come through. Thank God that we came back with the Brewers. But like
Yep.
I'm gonna say again, their bats did look good. So
Yeah.
I'll roll with the White Sox and take a shot with them plus money.
I like that. Pirates versus Reds. Also 340. We got another close one. Reds are minus 131 on the money line. Pirates are plus 109. Reds have the young prospect Chase Burns out there. The Pirates with Braxton Ashcraft. I'll let you take this one off first, because I have some, something to say about this one.
Can you say their ERAs for both of them for me? I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar with. I know Ashcraft because his name's kind of funny to me, but
Chase Burns had a 4.57 ERA. Played about 13 games last season. 0-3, didn't acquire a win, but his minor stats were really good, and that was his first year last year. He's 23, throws heat. Ashcraft, on the other hand, 2.71 ERA. More of a reliever position last year. But yeah, 2.7 ERA, 4 wins, 4 losses, 70 innings pitched.
what's the over and under on this one?
8.
8. I'll take a shot. Two mediocre kind of teams that are, bats wise, that are kind of slower right now. Two okay middle of the pack pitchers that are probably going to want to start the year good. So I'll choose an under spot here in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be the play of the day for me. Give me the under. I agree. When it comes to these Pirates versus Reds games, I don't know why, but I always see, you know, two
Low
one
scoring totals.
scores, two
Yeah.
one, 3-2. Super
Hey,
low
this year
close
the Pirates
games.
have been scoring, right?
Yes,
Or
they
was that
have.
just game
I was
one?
gonna touch on that. I was gonna say, they've been pretty hot this year, so you know, it does give me kind of worry, especially with the young gun out there. But I think Chase Burns has something to prove. He's a very
Yeah, I
high
think so.
prospect. Like I said, the Reds haven't been too crazy on the bats. Should cause some issues, maybe. I just see a low scoring game. This can be my play of the day. I'm gonna take the under 8. Yeah.
I like that.
All right. We'll move on. Nationals versus Phillies. Got the Phillies minus 175 on the money line with Taiwan Walker. Um, Nationals are plus 144 with Foster Griffin out there. Taiwan Walker with a 4.08 ERA last year, 5-8 record, pretty mid. Foster Griffin hasn't pitched in 3 years in the MLB. Yeah, I see a spot for me right here is the Phillies first 5. It makes me a little nervous that, Foster Griffin hasn't pitched in 3 years in the MLB. And when he did, he wasn't very good. Nationals, can get touched up pretty early here. I like the Phillies bats. They're 1-2 so far, which doesn't look too good. You know what I mean? I feel like this is where they can start getting hot. Yeah, give me the Phillies first 5 money line. They have the better pitcher and the better batters.
Yeah, I'm kind of siding with you too. I like the first five over just because I don't like Walker that much, to be honest with you
Yeah.
either. I just think he can even pitch in maybe one or two in this first five. And then on the other side, maybe Phillies pitch in three. So you're getting a 5 runs right there in my head. So I'll take the over. I don't even know what it's at right now until I deep dive. But,
Yeah.
most of the time, these first feeling, when we go through these slates, Austin, we've been kind of right. So I'll take the first five over on a shot.
Yeah.
By the way, is there any way you can monitor the the Golden State game and just keep an eye on it for me too? Because I'm looking at it. I got the under in this third quarter. It was pretty high. They've been going under on these other ones. So
Yeah, I will. All
all right.
right. Next up, Rockies Blue Jays. Minus 259 for the Blue Jays here, plus 209 for the Rockies. I'm gonna keep mine short and simple. They got Cody Ponce out there for the Blue Jays. He hasn't pitched in 4 years in the MLB. Um, Rockies have Tomoyuki Sugano out there. He was, 10 wins, 10 losses, 4.64 ERA for the Orioles last year. I'm probably going to stay away, but the Rockies' bats have been so bad this year, it's not even funny. I'm thinking maybe an over spot here, because I can trust Blue Jays. They were this. I think they had the second most runs last year. They're a high scoring team. Um, I do like their bats. Both of these pitchers seem like weird pitchers to me. The Rockies pitcher's 36. That's it's getting up there. So yeah, give me the over.
Yeah, that's funny you say that too, because I initially first thought you said the over as well. I'm gonna stay away because, like you say, I do like this guy that came over from the O's. He's not a bad pitcher either. Blue Jays bats just are so weird. They either score so much or they can just go really ice cold.
Yeah.
Haven't really been tracking them a lot this year so far. This will be one that I'll kind of keep an eye on. I'll stay away.
Okay. All right. A's versus another A's, the Braves. The Braves are
Yeah.
minus 143 on the money line. The A's are plus 119. Braves have Bryce Elder out there. A's have Jacob Lopez out there. Um, let's see. Bryce Elder, 5.3 ERA, 8-11 last year. Jacob Lopez, 7-7 record, 4.08 ERA for the A's last year. What do you think?
I'm going over in this one. This is another over total. I don't know what it's at. What's it at right now?
9.5.
I don't like both of these pitchers. I think it's a high total for a reason. We've seen both of these teams score runs too. They can score runs. I think the bats stay hot and we get an over right here.
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, I'm thinking of, the A's, they haven't looked good at all in that whole series against the Blue Jays. I mean, they covered some games. Don't get me wrong, but these Braves bats right now are too good for me. You're getting a minus 143. That's decent odds. Maybe put them in a parlay or something. So yeah, I think Braves take this one. Angels versus Cubs. This game's at 440. Cubs are minus 186 on the money line. Angels are plus 153. They Cubs, Edward Cabrera out there for the Cubs. Posted a 3.5 ERA, 8-7 record for the Marlins last year. And Ryan Johnson out there for the Angels, who had a 7.36 ERA, 1-1 record. Um, yeah, Angels bullpen was getting destroyed.
Floyd, yeah.
Absolutely destroyed against the Astros
There's
later on.
still a lot of hands not ready yet.
You're
So
putting in this guy Ryan Johnson who isn't very good. Maybe he goes in there and pitches like 3 innings. They're gonna try to get as much out of him as possible. I don't mind Edward Cabrera. He's young. Good ERA. Maybe Cubs first five. Maybe Cubs minus 1.5. But I think Cubs got to get something started here. Their bats haven't been too bad. The Angels' bats have been pretty good. But yeah, I trust them more here.
Yeah, I think this is a Cubs spot right here. I'm on the Cubs minus 1.5. I think you got the better pitcher option. Angels definitely have their bullpen absolutely no arms right now. That's why they're going with this. This is going to be, like you said, they're going to try to get the most out of him. He won't be in there probably long. I think Cubs get to him early and often and keep it going. So I'll go Cubs minus 1.5.
Yeah, I agree. Rays visiting the Brewers. Minus 149 for the Brewers, plus 123 for the Rays. Kyle Harrison out there for the Brewers. Nick Martinez out there for the Rays. Um, Kyle Harrison didn't really play much last year. Young versus Nick Martinez, who is proven that he's pretty decent, when he played for the Reds. He's a solid pitcher, maybe pitch to contact, but, solid pitcher. I had the Rays yesterday. It's something weird. Like, they have a lot of hits, but I don't know, man. Like, they're weird. I don't trust them enough. I'm gonna stay away in this one though because the Brewers, their bullpen might be a little shaky this game. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I'm not betting this garbage team. I don't like the Rays. I've never really liked the Rays. Same thing goes for. My bad. I'm sorry. Am I still here?
Yeah, there you are.
There we go. No, yeah, I'm gonna stay away in this spot. This is a garbage game right here.
All right, we'll move on then. Mets versus Cardinals. Both teams 2-1. Cardinals are plus 129. You got the Mets minus 156. Let's see who the Cardinals got. Kyle Lehigh. I don't know how to say his last name. Not too familiar with him, but
I'm
had a
familiar with him at
had a
all.
3.07 ERA. More of a reliever pitcher. Had 62 games played last year, so yeah, definitely comes in for that relieving spot. But I guess they trust him with the starting position. Clay Holmes out there for the Mets. I like me some Clay Holmes. I do. I think the Cardinals are buns. I mean, that series they had with the Rays was just a fluky series. Both teams just had no pitching.
Exactly.
Cardinals have, like, I don't trust that pitching at all. Mets have been a little scary on the bats.
I think that's why we're getting low odds with them right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you have to take them. Like, if you're
Yeah.
gonna get put in the spot, you have to take the Mets money line. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I actually like them in a parlay later on in this video, so yeah, I'll add them in there.
What's the odds for the Mets right now? 150, you
150,
said,
yeah,
or
156.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Mets on the money line. I think we're getting it. It would have been juiced up way more if the Mets would have been playing a little bit better. I think we're getting them at a lower number. St. Louis is garbage. They can't bat. They can't. They can't pitch. They can't do anything.
Yeah,
I'm on the Mets.
yeah. I don't know. Let me make sure I check the stat real quick, but I was checking the Cardinals. I think they've
Let me
maybe only
check
gotten
here.
walked. The Cardinals only have 3 walks this season so far, so they're really just swinging. Um, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
that makes me think Clay Holmes can paint them up and send them out of here. So yeah, I agree. All right, we'll move on. Red
Can
Sox
you still
versus
see me, brother?
Yeah, I can see you.
Perfect.
Red Sox versus the Astros. Ranger Suarez out there for the Red Sox. They're minus 118 on the money line. Astros got Lance McCullers Jr. out there. They are going to be minus 102. Lance McCullers Jr. 6.51 ERA, 2 wins, 5 losses last year. He's been with the Astros for forever now. Ranger Suarez 12-8 record, 3.2 ERA. I'll let you take this one first.
Yeah, I'm on the Red Sox in this one. I think the line tells you what you need to know here too. They want you to bet Houston. Houston's going to be a big favorite for all markets, especially for baseball. I think you got the better quality pitcher, and to be honest with you, the better bats right now. I know it sounds crazy, and maybe not, but I just feel like the lineup is a little bit better too. Astros, I mean, they did score a bunch of runs. I was on them in that. I think I had them plus 2.5. Ended up coming back, but I don't know. I just think the line tells you what you need to know. I'm on Boston right here. Boston first five, I think, is a good look too.
Yeah, I like the pitching option for the Red Sox. Ranger Suarez is one of my guys, but I'm gonna have to stay away. I can't trust what the Astros are gonna bring me this game. I was thinking maybe, this sounds crazy, but the under, but I don't know. I think the Red Sox bats might get hot eventually, so I'm gonna just stay away. Be safe.
Yeah.
All right. Yankees versus Mariners. This is a close one. They got the Mariners minus 115. Yankees minus 105. Luis Castillo out there for the Mariners. Yankees are putting Ryan Weathers out there. Castillo 11-8, 3.54 ERA. Weathers, he had a 3.99 ERA, 2 wins, 2 losses. Pretty young. You know, I like Luis Castillo. I think he's a good pitcher. Issue is with me is, you know, Mariners had a better batting game last game against the Guardians, but I still feel like they're kind of overrated this year. Um, Yankees came out strong and destroyed the Giants, only giving up 1 run. I think Yankees win their 4th in a row. It's kind of risky, but I'd prefer them over the Mariners. I don't know why. Just, yeah.
Yeah, I say let's not overcomplicate this. When I did that in the Giants in the very season opener, kind of got burnt and thought, man, what am I doing? Yankees under this price right here. You got to take Yankees all day. I like the Yankees here.
Yeah. Another close one we got. Giants versus Padres at 640. Padres are going to be minus 115 on the money line. Giants are minus 105. Padres with Walker Bueller out there. Giants have Landon Rope. Um, you know,
Row,
huh?
Row,
Uh,
ROU.
Roupp. So
Oh, never mind.
maybe Rope, like Landon Rope. I don't know. Not
Yeah,
too familiar. Walker Bueller is one of my guys. I feel like he has an underdog story, with the Dodgers was not too good, that was the controversy. Then he went to the Red Sox where, you know, he had let me see his ERA there. 5 ERA. Wasn't too good. 5 ERA with Boston, but you know, came out there with the Phillies, had 13 innings pitched, only a 1 ERA, so I don't know, man. Giants look like buns, buns, and buns.
yeah.
I feel way more confident backing the Padres bullpen. I think Padres in a tight one. Give me the money line.
Yeah, I'm on Padres too. You taking the words right out of my mouth. I think they're just the better bullpen and the better lineup right now. Giants haven't been able to do anything on the bats. I'll go Padres.
Yeah. My Guardians versus the Dodgers. Dodgers minus 207. Guardians plus 169. Dodgers with Roki Sasaki out there. Guardians with Parker Messick. I'll let you take this one first. I'll tell you their ERAs just in case you want to know.
Yeah, you lagged too on the teams real quick. Go ahead and say it one more time.
Dodgers versus Guardians.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Dodgers are minus 207. Guardians are plus 169. Dodgers have Roki Sasaki out there. Guardians with Parker Messick. Sasaki with a 4.46 ERA last year. 1 win, 1 loss. Spent a lot of time in the minors. And then for Parker Messick, 3-1 record, 2.72 ERA. Played about 7 games last year. Yeah, you can go first on this one.
I'll take Dodgers total runs over whatever that is. I don't know what it is right now. I'll take a look. If it's too high, it's too high, and the value won't be on there. But I just think I know Guardians have the good pitching option. I just think it's just too deadly of a lineup for this guy right here, especially the starting pitcher. And then to be able to go through a good Guardians bullpen, don't get me wrong, but I'll lean Dodgers team total over.
Yeah, Roki Sasaki, like, he has the potential to be a very good pitcher. Unfortunately, he did actually pitch a pretty good postseason last year. They used him a little bit. But, yeah, I'm looking at his stats, like, pretty .84 ERA and, 10 innings in the postseason. He pitched pretty good, you know. I do like him. Like I said, the potential is there. Parker Messick, didn't get much, you know, appearances, so I'm kind of worried. I like the over in this one. It's at 8.5 right now. I also kind of like the Dodgers -1.5. They're getting the rest.
Me too.
Guardians are gonna be playing what 5 straight,
Games,
so
yep.
it's a lot of games. Dodgers get the rest. They've been at
I don't know
home.
the bullpen situation for the Guardians, but I would feel like they would kind of be used a lot of arms in this situation, don't you think? With 5 straight games played, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
I think for sure, especially if the Dodgers can get at the Guardians early, this game could get very ugly. I'm not too impressed with the Guardians bats at this moment. So yeah, I don't know though. I still feel like the Dodgers could put up a good plethora amount of points. Like I said, I like the over, or I like the -1.5 for the Dodgers in that one. Last but not least, last game of the card, Game 15, Tigers versus Diamondbacks. First start of the series. This is a pick'em game right here. We got Justin Verlander out there for the Tigers. 43-year-old
Wow.
Justin Verlander.
He got picked up by the Tigers?
Yeah.
Wow.
Versus Diamondbacks Michael Soroka. Um, you know, Michael Soroka, I know he pitched for the Nationals last year. 3-8. Oh wait, no, he actually pitched for the Cubs. My bad. Both teams. Cubs and Nationals must have been traded. ERA is a 4.52, 3-8. I don't like that. But then you got Justin Verlander, 43 years old, out there. He had a 3.85 ERA, 4 wins, 11 losses with the Giants last year. Yeah, this is a no bet game for me. Just because I do feel like the Diamondbacks bats surprised a lot of people against the Dodgers. They played pretty well. Just, it's the Dodgers. And then the Tigers, they had, you know, great bats the first 2 games, didn't score anything the last game. So I'm gonna stay away. I don't really don't know what I will get from these two teams, especially these two pitchers. So yeah, I'm staying away.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of question marks, and that's what's kind of got me staying off of this spot, too. I'm going to stay away. Hate to skip the last game of the day, but yeah, that's the best bet right there.
Just to keep you updated, the over under for this Nuggets game or the Nuggets third quarter is at 37 right now with
37?
with 4 minutes to
Wow.
go.
All
So
right.
just keeping you updated on that.
Thank
That
you.
means we're heading over to the NBA. Fairly, mid card here, 8 games. First game is going to be the Sixers versus the Heat. They got the Heat +2.5 and the 76ers -2.5. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Can I hear the injury report on this one, brother? I have not looked at it at all.
Sixers are going to be all healthy. Norman Powell is game time decision illness.
Especially if Norman Powell doesn't play. I don't know. This is a weird question mark game. 76ers definitely need it. They had Joel Embiid and everybody playing the last game. Quickly wasn't supposed to play, and he did.
Maxi.
We told you guys to take the opposite.
Yeah.
This one's a weird one. I hate these two teams, honestly, if I'm being real with you. I would take the 76ers because they're plus money, and then we don't know if Norman Powell's going to be out. If Norman Powell doesn't play, I think you have a real big advantage with the 76ers.
Yeah, I don't want to, contradict myself here because, I thought Heat would win yesterday. So they're on a back-to-back. I thought they would beat the Pacers, and they lost by 17. Pretty embarrassing. And then the Sixers, I thought the Hornets would beat the Sixers the other day. So it's kind of like a weird spot for me. That means I'm just going to stay away because I don't want to be put into weird, situations. This one's a weird situation to me. I'm staying away. Celtics, Hawks, -1.5 for the Hawks, +1.5 for the Celtics. Celtics coming off a back-to-back win against the Hornets by 15. The Hawks, coming off of a win by 10 to the Kings. I'm a little disappointed in the Hawks. I thought they would be able to cover against the Kings. Obviously not. They're playing 3 games in 4 days, so I think the Celtics are too, actually. Nah, the Celtics had a little bit of rest, but they are coming off this back-to-back. Another weird spot to me. The injury report looks like, Jaylen Brown game time decision, Derek White game time decision. No injuries for the Hawks. I don't think Jaylen Brown's going to play this game because he's been game time decision for the last 3 games and he hasn't played any of them. So I don't trust him to play. Celtics look good without him recently. They have. This is a close game. I think I just have to go with the better team right now, and that's the Celtics. But I'm not too confident. I'd probably stay away.
Yeah, I'm not fading the Celtics anymore. I was on the Hornets. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the day today. I was on the Hornets as well. They got absolutely torched. Um, I don't know. These teams that you think that we know they're not as better as the Celtics, but we think that they can compete, honestly. Sometimes I think to myself afterwards, like, what were you thinking? They can't compete with these dudes. So even if Jaylen Brown doesn't play, I don't know. I kind of like the Hawks. It sounds crazy. How many points am I getting with the Hawks?
1.5.
Oh no, never mind. It's the same situation. I don't know. I don't even know if the Celtics get up for this game. We'll see. It's gonna be a pass for me.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Suns versus Grizzlies. This game's at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Grizzlies at home, +12.5. Suns -12.5. You can get this one started.
Suns in.
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
Mark Williams still out. Dylan Brooks still out.
NBA card has been looking weird. There's 2 weeks left to NBA, so it's been looking real off. These spreads have been looking real off. Would I be shocked if my Suns went out there and blew them out? One of the best ATS teams in covering teams. No, I would not be. So I guess I'll lean towards the Suns.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. We were high on the Suns versus the Jazz the other day, and they blew them out, took care of them, won by 25. Grizzlies. Let me check, just to get a refresher. Oh yeah, they won a close one against the Bulls, and yeah, the Bulls they threw that game on purpose. Realistically, I'm looking at the Grizzlies lineup. Who's gonna guard Devin Booker? Who's gonna guard Colin Gillespie? Like nobody really at all. I think they can get it done. 12.5. I think it's possible, but I'm not too confident. This NBA card so far, not feeling the best
Not
about, so
looking good, no.
I'm gonna stay away that game as well. We'll move on to the Bulls versus Spurs. Spurs -17.5. +17.5 for the Bulls. This game's at 5 o'clock. I just mentioned the Bulls earlier. They're losing on purpose now. It's pretty obvious. You know, Josh Giddey's gonna play, but Spurs are all healthy. Give me Spurs first quarter. Might bump it down a little bit. Wemby usually likes to play pretty hard in the first quarter when he gets that playing time. The Bulls have no center. They have nobody to guard this man. Like I said, give me them first quarter. Give me them. Whole game might be a stretch, but I think they could lay those 18 points.
Yeah, I think they definitely could too. It just depends on how determined they are. I was on Spurs. I think the very last time I bet on them was like a week ago, and they ended up sitting Victor pretty early. So I wouldn't doubt them doing that in this spot either. So I love the first quarter one. Kind of get in and get out and get your money.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Timberwolves Mavericks 530. Minus 6.5 for the T-Wolves, plus 6.5 for the Mavericks at home. Edwards is still out. Jaden McDaniels is out. Let's see, for the Mavericks, Cooper's playing. They've Najee Marshall's game time decision for this one. Yeah, another weird spot for me.
For sure.
The Timberwolves without Anthony Edwards haven't played very well. They lost by, let's see, 22 to the Pistons without Cade. Ugh, at home, terrible loss. Mavs, on the other hand, just beat the Trailblazers when they were plus points. Covered against the Nuggets, covered against the Warriors, maybe. They've played a lot of close games lately. Only issue is, they got the over-under 235. I'm taking the under on this one. Mavs are always a team that gets slow to me early. They don't score that many points. Timberwolves are more of a defensive style team. They have a lot of low-scoring games. 235 is a lot to me. I feel like that's a lot. I'd take the under.
Yeah, I agree in that. I like that under spot a lot. Not a lot of star power going out there. Only thing that scares me, you said Mavs kind of feel like they run a little bit in transition, so I don't know. Yeah, this is gonna be a weird spot right here. I'm gonna stay away too. I hate this spot right here. This is very weird spot.
Yeah, the NBA has been pretty tough lately. For sure. Well, Cavs versus Jazz, 6 o'clock tomorrow. Cavs minus 17.5, Jazz plus 17.5. Let's see the injury report for this one. I think it's been pretty same. Well, Max Strus is out, Jared Allen's out, Keontae George is out, Markkanen's out, Nurkic out, obviously, and Jaren Jackson out, obviously.
Sheesh.
Yeah, pretty banged up. Jazz lost by 25 last game against the Suns, like I mentioned earlier. I think a key piece being out for the Cavs is Max Strus. He's been balling out off the bench. Jazz are at home. Cavs, they start to sell a little bit. I would take a little shot at plus 17.5. It's a lot of points. It is the Jazz. We know they're the ultimate tanking team. But for some reason, I think the Cavs, they might play with their food a little bit. Donovan Mitchell coming back to Utah. Maybe he has a good game. I think Jazz have good enough defense. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I would take the plus 17.5. Probably a high scoring game.
Yeah, I like the high scoring game part too. But yeah, I'll take the plus points right here. Hate to be in agreement on everything on this, but yeah, this is just too many points for the Cavs. They don't cover games at all.
Yeah. Last two games, we got the Pistons versus Thunder. Minus 13.5 for the Thunder, plus 13.5 for the Pistons. Cade's still out. Asar Thompson game time decision. Duncan Robinson game time decision. Tobias Harris game time decision. Jalen Duren game time decision. And Oklahoma City are all healthy, as we know. Playing a back-to-back. Minus 13.5. What are your thoughts?
Go ahead and say the two teams. It keeps cutting out for me. That's why I checked.
Sorry. Pistons, Thunder.
Yeah, Pistons, Thunder. Thunder's looking like a juggernaut team. I hate to fade these boys. What's the spread on this?
13.5.
Pistons.
Did you hear the injury report or no?
Nah, Thunder are pretty healthy right now. I can't fade the Thunder. I'm not gonna bet this game. I'm gonna stay away.
Yeah, I'm in agreement on that one. All these injuries though for the Pistons make me worried sick. Yeah, I don't know though. I can't trust the Thunder right this moment, especially off that back-to-back. I'm gonna stay away. Last but not least, last game of the card, Washington Wizards versus the Lakers. Lakers are minus 15.5. Wizards are plus 15.5. No Luka for this one as he is suspended for one game. No Marcus Smart for the Lakers. Sarr, Trey Johnson, Bub Carrington are all game time decisions. They probably won't play, I'm assuming, because, they're trying to tank.
real quick, brother. I think. Can you go check the exact amount for the third quarter? What was it at?
I'll tell you 1 second here. I totally forgot about that. They went to
No, you're good.
61.
Go ahead and see a live reaction.
61.
Yeah, I heard you. I think I had it at 62. I'm not sure though. We'll
No.
continue to go on with our video though. Didn't you hear me mention that earlier or nah?
Mention what?
62 or nah? You didn't even
I don't know.
remember.
I don't think so. I don't remember. I
No,
think
you're
you said
good.
you just had the under of the third quarter, but maybe I wasn't paying attention. Um, yeah, I'll just wrap it up real quick for the last game. Like I said, Luka's suspended. I still think they can blow him out. Sometimes they play pretty good with Luka. Wizards not gonna have any players out there. Lakers have been a little worrisome against these trash teams lately, though. The trash teams have been covering, but I think a huge game by Austin Reeves. Give me that minus 15.5.
Yep, I think so too. I think this is a beatdown. Lakers have been actually hitting their stride lately too in covering these games. Not like these other big teams that have been sending. Feel like they're trying to get their chemistry down too as well. So yeah, I'll take Lake Show.
All
And
right.
by the way, just to end it off, I had the under 61.5.
Oh my God.
Won by a half a point on live stream. So that's good. I like that.
That's insane. Wow. That's crazy. Well, that'll wrap up today. I'm going to get into my parlay here. First on the parlay, I'm going to take the Mets money line. Like I said earlier, I'd probably piece them in a little, parlay. So I'll take them there. I'm going to take the Dodgers money line as well. Um, that's two so far. I'm going to go over and head over to NBA now
Really?
for my last leg
After
here.
that after that terrible card?
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot. Um, I don't know. Something really is telling me to take. Man, I don't know. This is really tough. NBA does look really rough.
It looks rough, bro.
I'm gonna go with what did I say? First quarter. I'm gonna go Spurs first quarter. Um, let me check. I don't think I can add it right this moment. Can I add? Nah, I don't think I can. Right? I don't think it's open yet for the first quarter.
So
So
you have to see.
I'm not sure what the odds will be.
Yeah.
So far it's plus 150. What I'm gonna assume is it'll probably be like another minus 115, so it'll probably be like plus 350 odds here. But that's gonna be my little three leg is the Spurs first quarter, the Mets money line, and the Dodgers money line.
I'm gonna do Cubs. Can you do the value for
Yeah, I
me? Let's
got
go
you.
Cubs minus 1.5.
All right, 1 second here. Cubs minus 1.5.
Let's go Red Sox plus 1.5 on the run line.
Okay. Wait, you want them the Red Sox plus 1.5?
Matter of fact, let's just shoot them on the money line. Let's shoot a money line
Okay.
instead of the 1.5.
Okay.
I'll go Dodgers minus 1.5 too
Oh,
as well
okay.
on a
This is a
beat down three
is
teamer.
that it? You like
That's
the
it.
okay. This is a juice
Beat
one. Plus,
beat
how much you think?
500.
700 right here.
I like that. Plus 700.
Plus
Little beat
700.
down ticket.
Okay, I like it. All right, that'll wrap it up. One last thing. We've been doing really good on the MLB. Our premium picks, have been hidden. We've been letting you guys know. We also opened up a Discord. It's in the link in the bio. So I'll put it in this description as well. You guys can click it and join. We'll be posting our free picks, every day, stuff we like. Our ones that we really, really, really do like. We'll be a little less vocal in these videos. If you guys want to, test it out. We've shown some pretty good, week
Results.
we've
Yeah.
done, so far on the YouTube. You guys don't know what we've done before that, but we've been having a pretty good month. So, baseball has been hitting for us. So yeah, go ahead and join.
I really love tomorrow's card too. So really hop on to our premium. You never know what we're gonna do on our premium too, where it could be in-game bets. You guys get live messages and updates to
Yep.
that too as well. Once you get into the Discord, yeah, like how he said, links in the description. Please show some love because we're gonna keep making you guys some money. These free picks, these are what we look at just on the card first glance.
Yeah.
Um, After we go and do some homework and really deep dive, some of these bets might change
Might
or we
change,
might not
exactly.
bet them. So
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I know
100%.
I said I had the Hornets on the spread. I actually had the over. It didn't hit. It ended up hitting or not hitting by a half a point. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a full circle
Yeah, I
moment
was
to
gonna
get
say
the
I
half a
didn't think
point.
you had the Hornets today. I was like, I know you had
I
the
didn't,
the
but on the
over, but
on the show
yeah.
though, that's what I'm saying is you guys would have had the over. We ended up still losing it, so you know. But like
Yeah.
how he said, we've been making a ton of profit. We're up a bunch of units right now, both of us. So tap in with A or M on either picks.
Yep. I like that. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment too. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys tomorrow for episode 6. Peace.
Peace.